Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another monster video. So in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the new ancestral monster that they will be releasing very soon. I'm going to do an analysis, see how good this monster is. So I hope you guys are excited. If you are, make sure you drop a like, subscribe. Anyways, let's go and get started. Alright guys, so here is the new ancestral mythic monster. So go ahead and watch this video real quick. Looks like he turns red, so he goes from green to red. It's called Khalorc. How do you even pronounce that? Is it Khalorc? It's not Khalorc, is it? Anyways, so let's call it Rageskin. Rageskin is the new ancestral monster. He goes from basically green to red. Like, he literally transforms. Look at that. So he kind of changes. I'm assuming what happens is that when you unlock his, let's say, ancestral ability, right? I'm not sure how you actually unlock it yet. We could probably check it out in just a second. But basically, once I'm assuming you unlock that, that's when he turns red and gets angry or whatever. But it says, here's the monster you're all waiting for. Let's meet the new ancestor, the one and only Rageskin. Powerful, ruthless, and unstoppable. Alright, check his full bio for stats here. Let's go and check this out. So, this is a barbarian ancestor. Okay. I'm not going to read all of this, but if you guys want to go ahead and, pause and watch or kind of read this, go ahead and do so. It's just kind of like a lore or background, you know what I mean, about him. So he's an earth and fire tank. What? He's a tank? Are you serious? I was expecting him to be like an attacker or something. Like the way he looks, the way like that he gets all angry, I thought he was actually an attacker. So he's a earth and fire tank and torture resistance and taunt skills. So he has all this. All right. Let's see what we got here. So resistance to tortures. Is that like basically torture immunity, or is it just like you have like a 50% resistance or something against tortures? Like, how would that even work? 50%? Maybe like a curse. You know how curse, it deals 10% first round? Instead of 10% it would be 5%. And then second turn it's like 20%, I believe. So instead of the 20 it would be 10%, you know what I mean? Is it something like that? I'm not sure. Immune to stun. Status caster gains taunt at the start of battle. And rank 5 status caster gains protection at the start of battle. So just a random protection. Okay. Now the taunt, it's a status caster, unfortunately. You see this? It's a status caster. It's not like a trait. So they can easily PER this, which kind of sucks. Let's take a look at the skills here. So we've got Ashes of Despair, which is a moderate fire damage to all enemies, applies ignite to everybody. So it's an AoE fire damage. You just deal damage to them. I feel like players are going to probably run this monster as an attacker more than as a tank. Applies burn to itself, heals itself by 30%, and applies 50% damage mirror. Now the burn, again, you have that, torture resistance, which is new. So you're going to heal yourself as well with the 50% damage mirror. You do have a moderate fire damage again with burn. So this one comes with ignite, this one comes with burn, and then applies taunt to itself, applies a 50% damage mirror to itself. So I like the two damaging skills. I do like the taunt and 50% damage mirror as well. I think that's pretty nice. But like, other than that, I feel like he could have had better, tank skills. Like maybe damage section or damage section heal with life regen, things like that, mix of all. Or maybe even NER skills, that would have been nice too. But anyways, so the books, I believe that's evil legions. It looks like evil legions, right? Is that evil or good legions? Somebody let me know. I think it's evil. Then you have families, and then the other two doesn't really matter because these are the only two that matters for Team Wars. Trait wise, you have again what we saw earlier. There's the taunt protection and that protection. Is that shield protection? It looks like shield protection right here. Now I'm gonna actually move my webcam so you guys can actually see the the stats here. We have 20,768 speed, 46,592 power, and 1 million. What am I saying? 100,000. 1,387,030 life. Hey, that's not bad. Awakening Virtues, it looks like it's like a damage buff or something. Let's go ahead and take a look at it here. Okay, so at level 100, you're going to have 494,624 life. Power is going to be 19,712 and 12,023 speed. I like the power though. I like the power on this monster. But let's see the Awakening condition. So Awakening condition, you have to get 7 torture effects. This monster himself needs to get 7 torture effects. So it's going to be nice with monsters paired with anybody that will give torture to this monster. Any monsters out there that actually exist like that? I'm sure there are some, but besides that, I would say, how do you even get the 7 torture effects to this monster? Like, let's think about it. How do you even do that? Maybe 7 cents actually. If the enemy's running 7 cents, that could actually benefit you, so you can keep targeting him and then This monster keeps on getting the torture effect, but then everybody's gonna get the torture effect. It's not just gonna be, you know, this monster only. It's gonna be everybody in your team. So torture immunity would probably help. I'm not sure how that would work if everybody has torture immunity and then you keep hitting the 7th sense user and it keeps on, you know, backfiring. I wonder, because if this monster, since this monster has torture resistance, and if let's say somebody's providing torture, you know, immunity as a status caster, I wonder if this monster would still get his awakening. We can definitely test it out once this monster comes out. Awakening virtues, you get double damage and triple damage. Oh my gosh, so you're gonna have double damage and triple damage. Might as well run this monster as an attacker. Yeah, why don't you run it as an attacker? All right, so let's see what the books are. Barbarians, evil legions. Now, again, keep in mind with the awakening virtues, you're not dealing any damage. I don't see any damaging skills. So you're gonna apply the double damage and triple damage. I wonder if that's to everybody. If it's to everybody, that's pretty nice. But if it is just to himself, I would say run this monster as an attacker, obviously. So you're gonna use the benefit. You're gonna basically benefit from double damage, triple damage. But the only issue here, the only problem here is that, first of all, I would say if it's only to himself, obviously run him as an attacker, like I said. But here's the thing: the double damage and triple damage, you're gonna have to wait a turn. So after you use it, you gotta wait until next turn, and then you could use it again, if that makes sense. Like you can damage with a skill and benefit from the double damage and triple damage. Because besides that, like, you're gonna lose a turn technically if you think about it. The awakening virtues, you're just gonna apply double damage and triple damage. That could actually get PER'd as well. You know what I mean? Because again, you don't have a protection like a status caster protection or something like that. This is a protect trait, so you're only going to be protecting your trait, which is again torture resistance, immune to stun, and then I'm not sure if the status caster would count the taunt, but whatever. But keep in mind the double damage, triple damage, like you can't really protect that, can you? So they're probably going to PER that, so you got to be careful. But if it's everybody to your team, then you can run this monster as tank, and then your attacker could benefit from it. But the relics are armor and SN. Oh, cool. So you can basically get resurrected back and then armor. That's cool. Alright, I like that. The biggest boss, heavy earth damage to one enemy. 0 cooldown, 45 damage, and obviously it's an earth element. 0 stamina cost. Wait, so this is spammable. Heavy earth damage, you can spam this as much as you want. Oh, I would probably run this monster as an attacker, honestly. So heavy earth damage, you can run that. You basically have a spammable skill. You do have a moderate fire damage to one enemy, applies burn. 0 cooldown, 30 stamina cost, 30 damage. Hit me, applies 50% damage mirror. I don't think anybody's gonna run this. It is a 0 cooldown though. Unforgettable scars, moderate earth damage to all enemies, applies bleed to all enemies. So he does heavy bleed as well. So this monster is like a attacker mixed with tank. He's like a hybrid monster, kind of like Skycold, for example. Except Skycold is obviously better, I would say, in terms of traits. Trait wise, obviously Skycold is better. You know what I mean? You have access to taunts and mega taunts. It's pretty sweet. But with this monster, if only the trait would have been better. Like if that taunt right there would have been taunt trait, I would have taken that, honestly. And then this could have been like a random protection AoE, like just a random, you know, status caster positive status effect. That would have been pretty sweet. Can you imagine? Kind of like Darkuma. This would have been Darkuma 2.0 if that actually was a thing. But anyways, modified damage to all enemies, applies ignite, and then this one. So if you want to run this, the burn to itself, you know, go ahead, because that could benefit you towards your awakening. But anyways, what I would suggest you guys running, like if you're gonna run this monster as an attacker, I would say run World of Enemies, which is a heavy earth damage to all enemies. It's a 0 cooldown, 0 stamina cost as well. What? So it's a AoE heavy earth damage, basically this right here and here, but this is an AoE, this is a single target, and they're both spammable. So I would say run World of Enemies, the biggest boss, those two skills for sure. And then I would probably run this one right here, Deadly Comb Orc, which is a very heavy earth damage, and then applies bleed to itself and then to all enemies as well. You can actually benefit from the bleed to yourself as well. And then this one called Be My Slave, it's a very heavy fire damage to one enemy, applies ignite and ignite to all enemies. So it ignites to yourself and to everybody. So I guess you could benefit that way too, like, you know, applying those tortures to yourself, because that will help towards your awakening. So you can run those types of skills. So the 4 best skills in my opinion to run would be World of Enemies, the biggest boss, Deadly Combo Orc, and Be My Slave. Literally those 4 right there, that's what you want to run. The ultimate's called Orc Fury Unleashed. It removes tortures from itself and deals 15 damage to all enemies. Perfect removes, kind of like, you know, Stormbringer, basically the other Ancestral. Basically that's how it is. So it's an interesting Ancestral monster for sure. Now what I would suggest is running him as an attacker, guys, more than a tank. But here's the thing: if that double damage and triple damage from his awakening virtue is to everybody and not just himself, then you might want to take the other route and run another attacker besides him, because Or you could probably do 2 attackers, so it would be Rageskin with another attacker, for example. Him and Serpentix, for example. Him, Serpentix, you know, Skycult, for example. That would work. Something like that. But that's up to you if you want to do that. But honestly, my opinion on this monster, I think he's good. He's an interesting monster. Definitely want to see him in battle first, and then I could give my full opinion. But for now, I'm gonna say he's interesting. He has a interesting skill setup and everything, basically, and he is also kind of introducing the torture resistance as well. So gonna have to see how this monster is in battle. But that's about it, guys. So let me know in the comments down below your thoughts and opinions, and that's going to be pretty much it. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.